Oh, I still got my fancy shoes on from the Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, that's nice.
You should change to sneakers by
Those are
now.
good, brother.
Yeah. Hey, discount shoe warehouse right there.
It's always good to wear nice shoes. For some reason, shoes say a lot about a person.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, well, let me ask you about that. This is the Classic Hits 93.1 Comedy Couch. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy. This is the Classic Hits 93.1 Comedy Couch brought to you by CRS Exteriors. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy. Carlos Mencia is our guest today, and you've already complimented my shoes, so I love you already.
Well, no, I just said that, like, what you wear says a lot about who you are.
These are my fancy church shoes.
Yeah, that's what those shoes actually say.
I don't normally wear these to work.
Why not?
Well, because they're not that comfortable. I mean, they look nice. I mean, but after a long day, you know, my chiropractor tells me to wear skateboarding shoes.
Yeah, those are good. You see,
Vans. I wear Vans. And everyone makes fun of me for wearing Vans, but I don't care.
No, but see, if I saw you in Vans, I'd be like, this dude is cool. He did acid in the 70s and he's still living there. Like, that's awesome. No, because you know what? Getting old is cool, but maintaining a little bit of that youth is the most important thing on the planet. Well, like, that's what keeps my dad happy. Like, my dad is the oldest, happiest dude, but every once in a while, he's like 80.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
But he still wears like Converse, you know?
Sure, yeah.
Like the old ones.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll still...
Like before Chuck Taylors or
yeah, before the Chucks. Even Chucks. Like, he'll wear those,
gosh,
you know? Yeah. So I look at him and I'm like, man, that's cool.
Yeah.
Keeps him happy and healthy.
Yeah, you get to a point where you just don't care what other people think. I mean, that's the problem with youth. You're so obsessed with, oh, what does everyone think of me?
Yeah.
And then you get to a point where you're like,
yeah. Basically, all you people, here's when you're truly going to be happy. When you're able to fart in front of whoever and not care. That is when true happiness kicks in.
Of course, when you're old enough, sometimes you can't help yourself.
Well, that's a whole different thing. Then it becomes embarrassing again.
Right.
So there's a window of a couple of years
where it's safe,
where you just don't care, and you're like, I don't care, and then
are those the pull my finger years?
No, but those are with kids. I'm talking about like with regular people.
Oh, I mean like you and me.
Yeah, like
I could not. All right, I would not be comfortable.
And that's why. And that's my point. You still have like, oh, he's gonna be mad. He's gonna like. If I had it right now, I'd be like, whatever. I don't care. You know.
Okay. Well, then you're good.
I ain't Mexican, and I'm not gonna. You know. I'm not gonna fight it and whatever. That's when true happiness kicks in. When you accept everything.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you know, you get a flat, you're like, I got a flat, it happens. That's right. That's when you're happy. Not like, I can't believe of all the people, of all the days today I get a flat. And like,
right, because then it becomes the world against you.
Well, that's everybody.
Yeah. And if you become part of the world, then you're good, right?
Right, exactly. That's why, and you got to choose the right faith. That's why I'm a Catholic, because we could be bad. And then once a week we go into this little box and some dude says, give us your sins.
Yeah.
And then I say, oh, I did this, I did that, I looked at this girl, I licked this, I did that, and I didn't tell my wife. And they're like, you know what? Couple of Hail Marys, and I go out there and say, God, grace, Mary, and then bam, like an Etch-a-Sketch. Woo, I'm done. Control Alt Delete for the young people. I'm back in the saddle again. Let's ride that horse.
Now in LA, there's a lot of Catholics.
Yes.
I mean, it's huge out there. You know, got the missions, the whole Catholic thing up and down the coast.
And then the Mexicans.
Yes.
Those people tend to be very Catholic.
Right. Lady Guadalupe, everything.
Yes.
Well, here in the South, not so much. It's only like 1 or 2%.
Yeah.
So you will be amused that the local Catholic church bought commercials on my radio station to advertise confession on Ash Wednesday.
See what I'm saying?
That's
perfect.
Good. That was good. That took some cojones.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You see, the cool thing about the Catholic Church is that you don't like on the way, I was in Chattanooga, and on the way up here, there was like 5 Christian radio stations.
Right.
And every single one, it would stop and be like, and Jesus, by the way, give us $1,000. We need to pay our bills. And you're like, come on. And then the next, and it'd be like, and the Virgin Mary. Give us $1,000 so we can pay our bills, and then it go to the next one. There's a movie coming out called Noah. Go see it. But before you do, spend some money giving it to the radio. I was like, wow, these people are.
The money. That's the ministry. That's how they make their money.
Like that. Yeah. My church just tells me to go into church every once in a
we
while,
passed
put
the
some
basket.
ash on my
Oh,
forehead.
did you get some?
Yeah,
How
it
big?
was cool. It was, I washed it off right away. I'm not going to leave it there all day. It's symbolism.
I left mine on.
Matter of fact, sometimes I don't even go. I just have, one of the guys is a smoker. Once he puts it out, I go a little, hey, Jesus, I wanted to go, and I do this. And, we're cool. We're cool. I make people laugh. I give joy to the world.
All right. How do you deal with not eating meat on Fridays, or do you let that one go?
No, because there's like technicality. You can eat fish.
Yes, which fish is a meat, but it doesn't count as a meat.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I love about my church. There's always an out. It's not just, this is the way it is. There's always one guy that's like, and when Jesus came down, he came and then he went up again and he said, I don't need a meat. And then there was some guy from Spain that was like, but not here, like fish, maybe some fish, right? I would like some fish. Fish is not a meat, that's okay. Just no meatballs.
My pastor is Irish.
Yeah.
So when St. Patrick's Day falls on a Friday during Lent, he gives us a dispensation so we can have corned beef and cabbage.
See, that's beautiful, man. I love that.
There's always an out.
Well, every once in a while, what happens is it falls on the St. Patty's Day and the Friday, and I have to observe one or two things. So I say, Jesus, please forgive me, but a little bit of cabbage makes it not meaty, right? And Jesus is like, you're Catholic, my son, it's okay. Confess on Monday and you'll be fine. Because we all believe, all of us Catholics believe that Jesus speaks in our language.
Oh, of course. I mean, look at the paintings.
Right.
When you go to a black church, and I've gone, black
Jesus
Catholic
looks
church,
darker.
They got black Jesus. When you go to a Mexican church, and I've been, he's definitely looks
very Latino. His eyes are not blue anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, none of us are probably correct because he would have looked like an Arab or a Jew or Semitic Jew from back in the.
How dare you? No, I'm kidding.
I mean, he certainly didn't look Norwegian like most of the.
No, of course not. He didn't look like a white hippie wearing Birkenstocks in the 70s. No.
He was down and dirty.
Yeah, I don't think Jesus was walking around going, all the leaves are out of puff the magic breath. No, I don't think. Was he smoking weed? Probably. But just because at the time it came from the earth and there was no creepiness to it.
I love that we're talking about Jesus and you just sang a Peter, Paul, and Mary song.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm saying I look at the context of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't know. I mean, what kind of a dude was Jesus? I don't know. He hang out with 12 dudes. He got drunk with them all the time. When they showed up with water alone, he was like, please, turned it into wine so they could party.
I know, he wasn't just a drinker, he was a dealer.
He was all kinds of stuff. And then he washed their feet. I don't know what that was all about. Well, but, there was some weirdness going on in the group is all I'm saying.
Yes.
Because from what I understand of what was edited in the Bible when they wrote it, there were a lot of writings from all those guys that didn't get into the book.
They had to leave stuff out.
I would want to see that stuff.
Oh, the unedited Bible.
Well, no, it's like all we know is like when he performed. You know what I mean?
You want to hear the regular stuff.
Yeah, I want to hear what happened.
What did he do on his day off?
Did Jesus ever say, pull my finger, lightning came out? Like, did he ever do stuff like that?
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's in the edited parts. I don't know.
Why they would clean that up? I mean, because seriously, if you think about it, he was fully human, so therefore he had bodily functions.
Exactly.
They never mention it.
But was there ever a day when Jesus said, I got to go into the woods, and he was there for like 30, 45 minutes, and he came back, and they're like, did you talk to your father? And he's like,
what?
No, I had to take a dump. It was nasty. Oh, my God.
Maybe that's why he went into the desert for 40 days.
I have no idea.
Maybe he was backed up.
And when Jesus was surprised, did he say, "Oh my God," or did he say, "Oh my dad"? I don't know these things.
Yes. Wow.
But that's interesting.
This is genius.
I don't know.
I know.
That's what I would say if I was Jesus. I'd be like, "Oh my dad,"
Yeah. Yeah. Why?
I don't know. And when we say Jesus Christ, did Jesus go me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And people think Christ was like his last name. When that's not his last name.
No.
That's his title. I mean, that's what he was. He was the Christ.
Right.
The Messiah,
Right. So is Jesus of Nazareth or Jesus of...
Maybe he had a last name that got edited out of the Bible.
Yeah, I don't... What is
Might have been
his
too
last
long.
name?
Maybe they couldn't spell it right.
Because there's no Mary's last name.
Right. Wow.
And there's no Joseph's last name. What's Joseph's last name? Was see what I'm saying?
The worker?
I have no idea, but going on your theory, it's Muhammad.
Oh yeah, that could work.
Right? Because it was the Middle East.
Yeah.
But then it
probably was something like more Israeli, more
yeah. So
like
Jesus' real name was probably Jesus Hyman or something like that.
Jackie Mason is with us on the Comedy Couch. Carlos Mencia, Side Splitters Comedy Club this week. SideSplittersComedy.com. I saw you put on Twitter last night that you have 100% new material, and you've been and people talk about when you come to Side Splitters that you're just on stage for hours. You put on an awesome show. People get their money's worth when they come see you.
Okay, here's what it is. I truly live life as if it's my last moment. I really do.
Yeah.
And because you really don't know when that last moment is going to be. And so I give it my all. But I grew up poor, so I really respect people spending money to come and see me perform.
Yeah.
And I would much rather, and this happens a lot, people leave going, man, the last time I came, you did that one joke and it was awesome and I told all my friends and then I came and you didn't even do it. And I'm like, but I'd rather you say that than you leave going, it was the same act as before. And I hear that about a lot of comedians. And, you know, one of the things that I do with these young comics is I tell them, write new jokes all the time. Like, say something, come up with something different, something funny, something interesting. It's what we do. So, yeah, I never want people to have the same act or see the same thing. Or I get bored with jokes after, like, I don't know, 10, 15.
You're here about like once a year, so you've got that much time to...
Oh, God, yeah. I write about an hour-ish, give or take, every year.
So the act completely refreshes over the course of that year. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on, like, the audience. Sometimes they want, like, some, old joke, and you give them the hits. But you see, here's the difference between comedy.
Yeah.
All right, Billy Joel, I think, is doing a record 10 sold-out shows at Madison Square Garden.
Right? Yeah.
He is not singing any new songs.
No. He's going to sing Piano Man?
Not one.
The Stranger?
Yeah, all
My
of
Life,
those, he's gonna sing all of the Uptown Girl, and he's gonna sing all those. We can't do that.
It's true.
We're comedians, People expect us to be funny
and relevant and topical. I mean, you can't still do a joke that was funny in the '90s because it's not the reference doesn't work anymore.
No, can't do that. So we can't do our hits.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, we can't. I can't go back to 1992 and talk about Monica Lewinsky. Let me tell you, no, you can't. People are like, how is this guy retarded? What's wrong with this guy? Like, they'll literally be like, what year is he living in? Somebody slap him in the face, I
have seen that comic.
Obama,
I'm not going to name names, but I have seen that guy who's still doing his act from approximately 2002.
I heard a comedian the other day do a joke about Tricky Dicky. He literally said Tricky Dicky, and everybody in the audience pulled out their phones and Googled, who is Tricky Dicky? I'm like, oh my God. Like, this is so bad. So bad. On both ends, by the way. Because you should, of all the presidents in the past, you should know. Nixon.
He's one of the bigs.
He's like...
the only one who resigned.
Yeah, impeached, resigned. I mean, it's like, he should be one that you should know.
Right.
But still, I thought it was like funny because in my head, I started doing a Justin Bieber joke. Was like about a month ago, maybe? Month ago, right? Maybe?
Yeah.
I'm already getting tired of it. 1 month.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a great joke, but I'm just like...
Well, the thing with Bieber, though, I mean, when you talk about current pop culture folks, I mean, you got to check the newspaper in the morning, A, to make sure he's still alive, B, to see what has changed with him, because he went from being, pure little Justin Bieber to pothead Justin Bieber to racing his car down the street Justin Bieber.
But he wasn't even racing. He was going 50 miles an hour in a 35. Everybody does that. It's such an exaggeration. Justin Bieber's out of control. He's doing pot. He's a 19-year-old smoking pot. That's normal. If I had his,
but I mean, it changes the audience's reference point. Is what I'm pointing for the comedy, though, right?
Maybe I don't know. For me, it's like if I was 19 and I was a millionaire and I was doing real drugs, the cops would pull me over. I'd be tying a band around me, going, "Hold on, if I'm going to jail, I can't take it in this normal state." I would be crazy. I mean, he was going 50 miles an hour. Paul Walker's up in heaven going, really? Ooh, 50? Slow down there, Justin. 50 miles. You know.
So instead of
I told you it was a good joke. I'm just getting tired of it already.
So instead of Fast and Furious, he's slow and aggravated?
Yeah, pretty much. Fast and Furious, slow and annoying. That's what it is. Get off my TV already.
There's some sports player who like lives on the cul-de-sac. He's the one who called him in. He's the one who, there's like a basketball player for the Hawks or somebody who's the one who ratted out Justin Bieber for driving too fast down the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, well, you know.
Or Falcons, I forget which team it was, but it was some
because he was in a neighborhood or something like that, whatever. But I mean, Justin Bieber egged the house. I did that when I was 12. Stop. If I could buy your house over and 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 over, et cetera, and you pissed me off, I would light your house on fire. Then I would hire the Ohio players, so when you come out, all you hear is fire. And for the kids, I would hire Eli Goulding, so then you could hear, and we're gonna let it burn, 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 burn. And then they'd be pointing at me going, he can light it up, up, up. And then the firemen would be going, so they can put it out, out, out. I don't care. Justin, I'm going to throw eggs at your house because I'm crazy. And then I'm going to go 50. And then I'm going to smoke pot. Whatever. Do some heroin. Then you might be a man.
He doesn't even smoke real pot. He just probably smokes medical marijuana.
Yeah, whatever. Like, I come from the generation of people that died because they did so many drugs. What is this guy? You know what I mean? I do a lot of drugs. Let me sing my song. Please. You know somebody did drugs when their song is, take a little bit of ease in my heart now, baby. What is this bitch doing? Oh, my God. That is some horrible drug taking. Or when you listen to, a guitar player whose number one song was, you're like, man, that guy was on acid.
Yeah, because it sounds good to him.
Go Hendrix. Open your own mouth and die. That is a life. I'm going to go 50 miles an hour and buy a dozen eggs because I'm crazy. I'm from Canada. What are you going to do? Kick me out? He didn't even sneak into the country. Like, no, at least like being an illegal alien from Canada, then you're a little edgy.
Remember it was Usher who brought him in, and now Usher's trying to I don't know.
Yeah, well, Usher's one of those guys off of he's a black artist that's not black enough for black people. You know what I mean?
The poor guy.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy that hangs out with black people. You're like, man, why you gotta be an Oreo, Usher?
That's not fair to Usher.
Yeah, no, it's not. He didn't grow up in the hood. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Like everybody I grew up with, they're like, hey, Holmes.
The barrio.
Why are you selling now? They say you don't sound like us. Like, because business-wise, I don't know if I'm going to sell tickets in Knoxville if I show up going, hey, yes, come see my show, Holmes. I'm funny, vato. Tú sabes. Rock Maravilla forever, ese. Y así estuvo. Selena lives.
All right. Well, obviously, Carlos Mencia, you have a ton of material, and you've got 5 shows at Side Splitters Comedy Club. SideSplittersComedy.com is the website.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you got to go. Thursday night, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. And those shows, the late show, they'll go well into the next day.
Yeah, and by the way, you know what? My act has never been, and I know I'm not like young, and I mean this, it's never been more for like college age kids ever, because I feel sorry for people in college today.
Oh, yeah.
But because it's so politically correct for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you go to college and you're not supposed to describe people by their ethnicity anymore. You're supposed to describe them by everything else that they are.
Right.
And it's just like, who has that kind of time?
Yeah.
Like, I'm supposed to say, my friend was a photographer who went to college at University of... No, my black friend.
Can't say that anymore.
Randy. And then, no, you can't say that anymore. You're a racist. Why has he got to be black? Well,
because he is?
Right, because his mom and dad are black.
His name is Randy, and I want to tell you him apart from the other guy named Randy.
There you go. And if he was gay, I would say Randy the black gay guy. Like, exactly. But so you guys got to come out, because I'm your freedom. This is the only place where you can just be yourselves and laugh at everything. Because, I did a college the other day, and it was segmented into every kind of group. Like, the Southerners, and then the hillbillies were here, and the rednecks were there, and the Mexicans were there, and there were from Mexican descent but not Mexicans, and then the Mexicans that don't speak Spanish, then the Puerto Ricans, then the one-eyed people. It's like you show up with one leg shorter than the other. You're like, I'm the only one, and then you see another guy with one leg shorter than the other, and then all of a sudden it's like, let's form a coalition of the one leg shorter than the other people, and then 2 days later they're like, can they make the stairs crooked so we don't have to do this anymore? And they petition, and it's just like ridiculous, man.
I know what you're talking about.
I swear to God, you know, the only thing that brings Americans together are right now Al Qaeda.
Because we all hate, we need an enemy, a common enemy unites us, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, yeah. After September 11th, we weren't black, we weren't white, there were no rednecks. It was just, it was just like, we gotta get these sons of bitches who got us. You know, that's all we need is for somebody to attack us. But here's the thing, it goes for the Earth too. Right now, the Earth doesn't get along. We don't get along.
Right.
Because we haven't been attacked by aliens.
Independence Day, the movie. This is it.
But that's exactly what happened.
That's what we need.
If we got attacked by aliens, you know immediately, all the terrorists would be like, okay, seriously, what do we need to do to get the enemy? China would be like, we don't tell you, but we have a lot of stuff back here. We come together with your knowledge and us, and India would be like, we will try to talk to them. We will call we will call them and see if we can find out what is going on. The aliens are going to be calling India. Listen, did you reboot your computer? I just came up with a new bill, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you write new material, right there, on the spot. Never been done before.
All right, when that turns up in your act and in your next HBO special, I'm going to know it's happened right here.
It happened right here. It's done tonight. Tonight, I'm going to start crafting that joke.
That's beautiful. All right,
done.
well then our work here is done, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful. Carlos Mencia, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you so much. SidesplittersComedy.com is the website. This is the Classic Hits 93.1 Comedy Couch, brought to you by CRS Exteriors. I'm Frank Murphy. Thanks for watching. Dude. Oh my God.
Dude, that's going to be a great bit, bro.
Oh my God.
That's going to be a great bit.
You say, okay, we're not telling you.
Like that.
You don't know, but we have more. We have a lot of stuff over here. A lot of stuff.
Oh, you're killing me.
I can't believe you didn't get him into the local college here. One goes on spring break on Friday, so that's a perfect reason for them to come out. And two, they're trying to ban sex